Team Toasty versus Team BeastSolis, where it's going to be North, Low Tier Viper, Spotted Lost, Bad Yoshi, Just Ass, and Nick 3000 versus Hamster, Pyrex, Puck, Crozin, and Pathogen. We are seeing the first ban come through. It's going to be Kwong picked out for Team Toasty.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard ban, I think, in the new age of Predecessor, since Kwong has been allowed into competitive. That character is very, very strong. I think might be the understatement of the century. I describe Kwong as like a Zarus. He just wins level 1 through 3, but unlike Zarus, he doesn't then fall off a cliff. He just continues winning. Kwong is very strong, and so is the Argus. And to see these two characters banned out first is not a surprise. Argus really powerful in 2 roles.
Yeah, Argus is probably one of the strongest characters right now. Like, a lot of people are just calling him the better Decker. So it really, you want to be able to deny the champion. You did say that yesterday. That's the exact thing I'm quoting. I'm quoting you. Look at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to see the ban come, someone interesting get picked here. And we are seeing the Rampage come through on Team Toasty. Rampage not having the strongest turnout over the last few months, but the recent buff putting him into more of a bruiser build, definitely putting him back into the game.
Yeah, and you really can't discount that rock. That long range stun is super powerful for setting up further stuns or stun locking from a distance, especially paired with something like a Decker or something.
You say that, but I can't ever land the things.
Okay, well, the Decker needs to land the stun first for you then, and you can follow up.
I still
continue the stun lock.
Well, I still miss. It's a skill issue. It is 100% a skill issue. On the other side, we are seeing a nice combination of Bellica, that perfect kind of support mid follow-up, and Steel. So there's a lot of long-range engage with some really strong CC follow-up coming out of BeastSolis. I think this is a good answer towards the Rampage right now.
The other strength of these two heroes is that they're both flex picks. Steel could be jungle, he could be offlane, he could be support. Bellica could be support, could be mid. Toasty still doesn't know where these characters are going, so they have to kind of pick pretty standard picks. Decker, like I said, very good at combining with this Rampage to stun lock from a distance. And who can deal more damage from a distance? Well, it's this Sparrow who can snipe away or use her ultimate to get additional range. So even from a distance, they can blow somebody up.
Yeah, these team comps are actually looking really good. Like you said, BeastSolis managed to get a very, very strong first 2 picks with the flex pick. They're getting another flex pick now. They're seeing Richter come out. That is a very CC heavy team for BeastSolis. Be interesting to see how Toasty's team reacts to that with the ban. I'm not too sure. Is there anyone you'd like to see with the ban right now, or?
For the ban, no. But when I look at that composition, I know who I don't want to pick. And I would be very scared to pick a Gideon here because, oh my God, the CC that's coming out from BeastSolis is intense.
They actually are banning the Greystone.
Yeah, I think that's pretty smart because they have a lot of CC, but they might be lacking in damage. And Greystone can just kind of keep living through CC. So it doesn't really matter if they CC him with no damage. Greystone is still just going to keep popping away the moment the stuns end. So I think it's a smart ban there. Plus, it just Steel or Richter is probably going to be in the off lane. So Greystone potentially just has a matchup that they're afraid of there.
Yeah, for sure. I think it'll be a good one. The Drongo ban now coming through because you absolutely do not want, as you call it, the library lane, as most people call it. The gag order lane, right? You don't want to have that power spike right there because the way that team comp works, they're gonna lock you in place. Drongo's gonna throw the gag grenade, and you genuinely will not be able to react or move until like at least one person. So it's a smart ban from Toasty.
Richter pulls you in, he silences you. The moment that silence ends, Drongo throws the silence down, and you're dead at level 2. You couldn't even blink.
Yeah, it's just not even happening. Twin Blast being picked up for BeastSolis, rounding out their ADC. I would like to see some frontline, another like bruiser frontline from Team Toasty. But it's not an easy pick because there's so much CC. A champion like Crunch, a champion like Grux into Solis's team is not an easy play. Those are 2 of my favorite champions. I'm not a fan. Picking any of those champions into that team comp, I am already just taking a few anxiety pills just to kind of calm myself down, right?
Oh no. And there's the Gideon that I said I didn't want to see, but I like the bravery. And there's the Grux that you said you didn't want to see. So Team Toasty's really going to have to impress us in this next game. I would have really liked to see a Sevarog because they need something tanky and they need something that can survive this onslaught of CC.
I completely agree. The Sevarog would have been really good because they have enough damage, and it's kind of like once you have a Sparrow, it's protect the Sparrow composition. Sevarog will do enough damage in the late game as on its own. Grux needs to survive the early game, and he might not be able to because he will fall flat in his face as the game progresses if he's not ahead, right? And that's the team comp that'll lock him in place. So we will see how that one plays out. The last pick coming through, it's gonna be the Crunch.
CC. That's what I'm saying.
CC. That is going to be a beefy team looking to make sure you don't get to play the game.
I guess Decker is happy about that. You know, Toasty himself, if he's on support, is looking at that Crunch and he's like, "Sweet, I counter somebody."
Yeah, I'm really excited for BeastSolis' team. I think it's going to be a strong showing from them. I think we will kind of see in the draft here. For me, this is one-sided. I'd like to see an angle that Toasty has if you have an idea of how they could play around this. But right now there is a train happening.
I do see something, and it's this Sparrow. They have so many tanky characters on the side of BeastSolis. This Sparrow will rip right through them at the end of the game. But
that's it.
If they manage to even stun the Sparrow once, they will then follow it up with 14 more stuns, and the Sparrow is just going to die. So this Sparrow needs to play very, very well, or Toasty is going to have to use his amazing skills as a support to just make sure that this Sparrow survives. Maybe Gideon's going to go in and make them blow all their CC on him. Like, distraction. Yeah. He's going to play. He's suppressing fire. You know?
They do have the team to allow for the front to back peel for Sparrow, so it does exist. But my God, that is going to be a very stressful first few minutes for whoever is playing Sparrow on that team.
I'm ready to get into the game, though. It's a stressful entire game.
Stressful game for sure. We're gonna find out who exactly is gonna be playing the Sparrow in 2 seconds here, and then praying to God that they'll actually, be able to hold that mental together. It looks like it's gonna be last Pyrex. Everyone in chat, give a pray emoji because he's gonna need it. And hopefully he'll be able to get through, without too much therapy needed. But let's get this one started. It's BeastSolis' team. We'll do the team rounds once again. On the blue team, BeastSolis is going to be BeastSolis, Low Tier Viper, Bad Yoshi, Spotted Lost, and North. And T, take away the other team.
On the other side, we're gonna have last Pyrex on this a very important Sparrow. We got Toasty in his signature role in support on the Decker. Crozen is going to be playing Gideon in the mid lane. Skype Hamster, all the way from the European scene, is going to be Rampage in the jungle. And Talk is going to be Grux.
And that will be it. We can go ahead and start this game, guys. Get it underway. I am very excited to see this. I'm also seeing in chat right now that Last Pyrex is actually a controller player. So
this will pray even harder.
Fun things like controller players have the aim assist and all that stuff by default, and that is amazing. But it is interesting to watch the way controller players have to turn and navigate a team fight. My favorite one is Richter, because Richter's just got this really wide body and frame on him, right? So when he turns, he kind of yeehaws, and it looks like it looks like someone's trying to like pilot a boat while drunk. And it's always a good time. But yeah,
luckily for Pyrex, though, like he's walking into some beefy boys. Richter's got a giant hitbox, so does Steel, and so does Crunch. It's going to be, even with the controller, the aim assist, these big bodies are going to be easy to hit. So I actually think Pyrex is going to be doing all right in terms of being able to deal the damage. The real trouble is if he's going to survive any CC onslaught.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be the case. The teams aren't looking at any deep wars right now. They're just playing the 5-point line. North walking into the enemy team. He is going over for the deep war. Walk right past the Grux. Managed to get a bit of a ward off. That's for the 3 camps. And where he's warding is actually really smart, because you see someone cross over, you'll know the direction they walk in when it comes through, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important to just get some early vision on the enemy team's jungle so that all the lanes can feel a little bit safer in being able to push up. BeastSolis, like if he hits level 2 first, he's going to want to just attack talk. But if they don't have vision, he has to play a lot safer. So that word is really, really important.
Yeah, and it does let them know right now that Rampage is not starting his blue side, so that allows Crunch to kind of play forward. It allows him to get a little bit of priority. You know, he's against a Grux, so he's going to want to more or less play back, maybe push a wave in and then let it come through. But there is the level 2 on the Crunch. He's going to go in and box him out. Grux going to follow up with his own level 2, but he's just going to disengage, so he doesn't have to worry too much. Interesting choice, because Grux usually does win there, even though Crunch had the slight advantage.
Yeah, the real thing is when in offlane, the moment you hit level 2, if you're a character that has a decent level 2, you get to win this next engagement for free and just poke somebody down who has to then play safe. And look at this, Talk missing a couple minions of CS. It's really all about hitting that level 2 at this stage in the game in the offlane.
Definitely is the case. In the duo lane, we are seeing just, you know, average boxing out. We did get a word from Gideon. And there is the engage. North following up, doing a little bit of damage. He's going to be blinking away is the Richter. Pyrex now trying to engage. Box onto North, who is the ADC. Sorry, I thought North was going to play Crunch because he usually does. But BeastSolis is also a Crunch main as well. So, hey, Toasty with no HP. He's going to hit the first back of the game. And we might see our first gank in as Gideon's going for the river on the left side. He's being collapsed on by low tier Viper and Bad Yoshi. Goes for the portal, misses it, has to blink away. Low tier Viper getting the first buff of the game. Sky Hamster following up to make sure that Crozen does live a little longer and is able to get the safety. And now he's going to rotate to his blue side.
Yeah, that was pretty big for the side of BeastSolis there, because keep in mind, Gideon is relatively safe in the mid lane. He doesn't have to burn his blink usually because of his ability to teleport away with that Cosmic Rift. Because he misses it, he loses out on the blink as well. And now Bad Yoshi is going to be able to just kind of put it to him a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely the case. They just have to wait to burn the blink the one time, come back 5 seconds later, and do it again. That's all you need to do. Once the blink is burned, you have 5 minutes of free pressure in that lane. Something that me as a jungler, I tend to forget about a lot of time. I'm like, cool, got a blink. I'll see you in 10.
I was going to say, this is for all you solo queue junglers out there. Jack has given you the tips. You burn the blink, you come back. But then you said what you just said.
Yeah, I know what to say. I know what to do. Not that I'll actually do it, right? Do as I say, not as I do. Classic line.
Those who cannot do, teach, you know?
Pretty much. I'm not a master tier player. I just have an understanding of how it works. Low tier Viper did come in just a second ago for a pressure gank. Wasn't able to get anything off, and he's going to walk back into the jungle on a 3 camp. BeastSolis now with a bit of an advantage. He has the lane frozen. Grux needs to go in. There's the pull on the Grux. He's going to dash. He's going to miss. There's the undercut by the Crunch as he dashes in for a little stun. He's just on top of him now. Grux is... Kit should be pressuring through, but the damage on BeastSolis is too much. There's the blink to follow up. First blood of the game going to the Crunch is going to be BeastSolis taking down the Grux.
Really important first blood there from BeastSolis, pretty much guaranteeing his lane was just won, all because of that early level 2 advantage. Like, you can snowball that really easily, and now the Rampage might be caught out. Look at that CC we were talking about. Another stun comes through and Sky Hamster falls. You can't escape it. This is what we were saying. There's so much CC.
And that's it. That's all the draft is going to be. It's that over and over again. The Richter lands the hook. Hey, I'll move away. No, you won't. I'm going to stun you at range. Okay, I think that's enough. I'm a tank. I'll live. No, you won't. I'm going to hit you with the steel RMB. Okay, I think I can walk away. No, I'm going to knock you back into the enemy into my team again. It's over and over and over again. Not even the tanks can survive this. Like, come on.
Yeah, and the other thing about it is this Rampage, yes, he's got CC of his own with that rock, but his CC requires a lot of setup, like essentially a channel time. So he pulls out a rock. I bet you he's just going to get stunned and not be able to throw it. He's going to pull it out again. He's going to get stunned and not be able to throw it. There's a lot of counter initiation that's not going to be able to happen unless he uses his ult in a lot of situations.
The only time he's going to be able to land the rock is with the ultimate. The Richter now stepping up, spotted, looking to see if he can get a hook as the enemy team knows to back off. This is North's wave to take. It would be a good opportunity to get some wards out for Toasty's team. Maybe set up that gold buff. They are going to have Toasty just sit in the pocket of the river. They know it's not warded, and they are going to see if they can get anything out of it. Toasty now walking back into the lane. He's looking to get a little bit of poke off. Decker against Richter, always an interesting matchup because it's whoever can land their ability first, whoever misses first. In the off lane, we are seeing a bit of engage as Low Tier Viper is going to use the stun on Rampage to get through and do another bit of damage. The Rock does come out. It's not enough as BeastSolis picks up yet another kill against the Grux.
Crunch already doing what Crunch does best, and that is punching. BeastSolis in a really commanding position in that lane, and Grux was one of the hopes for us in terms of their front line. I don't know if that's going to be able to work out in the end because he's already down 2 deaths to this Crunch.
And we are seeing an engagement in the duo lane right now. Bad Yoshi with next to no, oh no, he has HP, sorry, it's a visual bug. As Bellic is going to walk in, look to land the stun. He's aiming for Toasty and not Pyrex. There it is. He turns. He managed to land it, forcing Pyrex to blink out. The Twin Blast Grenade goes out for the slow. Not enough damage. There's the blink forward, and he gets a blinkied by the Bellica. And it's going to be another kill. Score now 4-0 in favor of BeastSolis' team.
Pyrex and his team should be a little bit happy about that. They do force out the ultimate from Yoshi and the blink because of just a slightly mistimed pull off of the knockup that allows the Sparrow to blink away and get away, just extend the fight a little bit longer. Yes, the Sparrow uses blink, but so does the mid. So
Bad Yoshi's going in again.
Yeah, this time with no mana, so I don't expect there's going to be anything happening. But you know, just showing up and saying like, yeah, I did that. Get away.
One thing we also just saw too is Steelo was actually in the enemy jungle. He took the blue buff away from Rampage and was able to back out. We now have BeastSolis as well, a whole level ahead of the Grux, and the wave frozen in his advantage. Grux pushed it up to see if he can get the Cyan buff. However, there's no Cyan buff there, so he's effectively forced himself into yet another negative position. And we'll see how that plays out in a second. You can maybe give it an explain, but we do have a fight in the duo lane. It's going to be Rampage looking at that Richter once again. Rock comes out, manages to land it. Richter not level 6 just yet, but he does have the team to back him up as Skype Hamster now being engaged on by the steal. Big ultimate on the shield slam coming through. Going to be enough as Rampage now levels up just in the nick of time. BeastSolis on the other side of the map getting a kill, but hey, we're in the middle of a team fight. It is now 5-0. Spotted Lost looking to just barely get out. No kills on that actually rather big team fight that we just saw play out. North now in trouble. He gets hit by the stun. There's the Decker. He managed to blink away in the nick of time. And that is going to be the cage. He doesn't manage to have dodged. He doesn't manage to jump out of. However, he is under the safety of his own tower, even though Skype Hamster is in the corner just waiting for something.
On the other side of the map, as you said, BeastSolis gets that solo kill, and then now he just gets the tower as well. BeastSolis showing everyone on his team why he's the captain, absolutely dominating the offlane this game.
Yeah, him and his team as a whole. And there it is, the big hook under the tower, coming out of Spotted Lost, just running forward and securing the kill. Pyrex, on the entire time, was on the gold buff, and you know North and Spotted saw that, and they took advantage of it the second they could, catching Toasty right out, and they're going for the Raptor off.
To be fair to Pyrex, like what was he going to do in that situation? The gold buff is probably more valuable than saving Toasty, who's a little bit overextended with no teammates around, especially with this Fangtooth up. You don't want to get picked because they are just going to get this immediately. Low tier Viper and Spotted Lost combined to take down the first Fangtooth of the game.
And in the mid lane, we have Crunch flexing his advantage and just trying to run down the Gideon. You see the teams just jumping out of happiness. They know they have the advantage here. BeastSolis now getting pulled back by the Grux. He has to blink out, and then he's going to dash away. Bad Yoshi with no mana right now. However, he was not the focus of that fight. They are able to get the blink on the Crunch, who is 2 levels ahead of that Grux right now.
Hopefully, this now opens them up to be able to gank this Crunch, who's in a commanding position to take over this game. Crunch, one of these characters who's really good from ahead and really bad from behind. So when you see him ahead, you should be scared and try and get him behind. Have this Grux catch up, have the entire team catch up so they can just eliminate him. In the later portions of the game, Sparrow and Toasty can combine to kill that Crunch, but they want to make sure it's not just the later portions of the game, it's the mid portions of the game.
Yeah, Grux is in that same spot. He's just the champion. Once he gets the lead, he goes with it. And if he does not get that lead, well, he's fallen flat in his face. He doesn't have the mobility that Crunch has, and he can't really build tank in the same way that Crunch has, because Crunch has high base stats. We have Skype Hamster going in, landing the rock immediately after the jump. Twin Blast trying to get out, but Pyrex following up the Sparrow's ultimate. Will it be enough? as North tries to get away using the blast plant, but he dies to Rampage, and Richter goes down as well in the 1v3 with Crozen rotating in to help out as well. 4-man rotation into the duo lane.
But look what it gives up on the other side of the map. BeastSolis is now getting the mini prime with the help of his jungler. Going to give it to this Crunch, and obviously you do. He's in a commanding position to now take this tier 2 tower. And if I'm Talk, I'm very, very scared. That guy can't even like hide under his tower. He needs to hide under his inhib at this point, especially with low tier Viper in his jungle.
Yeah, there's nothing happening there. We did see a nice little play in the off lane as BeastSolis and them were able to take the mini prime. They are pushing forward now. They're actually just clearing the vision. Yeah, they got the blue buff now too. That's going straight to BeastSolis. Give that to Crunch. He has the advantage. It's just, there you go. Good play, guys. That's how you pick up, how you push your advantages. We are seeing Toasty once again at a little bit of low HP, spotted, looking to get the kill on him. He's just going to run forward with the electrocute. Will it be enough? It is. Pyrex now just trying to add a little bit of pressure as he just manages to dodge the Richter hook, throwing down the arrows to get a little bit of pacing between him and the enemy team that is bearing down his tower just so aggressively in the mid lane. Once again, they are looking for every advantage they can get. They do take the mid lane tower as well, and now they're looking at the enemy jungle.
Yeah, that's the power of the mini prime. They take down the mid tier 2 or tier 1, and now they're just fighting in the jungle. But honestly, this fight is pretty much just going to become an attempted disengage. Low tier Viper using his ultimate to try and get away.
And he does manage to get away just in the nick of time using the shield wall. BeastSolis now caught inside the Decker cage. The engage for the enemy jungle being turned around in favor of Toasty's team. And they are possibly going to be able to pick up spotted lost as well. There is the 2 advantage. These kind of plays are the plays that they need to make to put themselves back in the game. Those mistakes that Beast's team are what they have to take advantage of. And they're able to right there.
Absolutely. They got a little bit too greedy after taking that tier 1. I really just thought they were going to go in, like maybe poke someone and then run away. I think they stayed a little bit too long in that poking, and maybe my analysis is wrong and you don't even go for any poke, especially with a bunch of melee characters who have to go into poke. But I think what they wanted to do was do a sort of typewriter kind of situation. You go mid, you take the tier 1, then you go left and take the tier 1. They wanted to clear out the jungle, head over to left, and take that tier 1 that's so weakened, but they get caught out a little bit out of position, and nearly 3 of the tanks go down. BeastSolis going down is incredibly important, especially if they, especially for this Sparrow, who's going to be dove constantly by that Crunch.
And then we are seeing the advantage of Sparrow's team, right? Once they're in the spot, they have good disengage if they're able to get it off in the right way, despite the enemy team having so much CC and having so much engage. We saw it there were to their advantage, and they were able to play something out.
BeastSolis in danger again. Look at the off lane.
And there it is in the off lane. We are seeing an engage as BeastSolis getting engaged on by 3, and he's going to go down to Skype Hamster, who's now able to flex the counterplay into the off lane, getting Grux a little bit back into the game. They're not too worried about Sparrow right now. That's why Decker's on the side of the map. But low tier Viper now dashing in on Sparrow. He's going to land the stun. There's a blink out. Spotted loss coming up. He's not going to worry about the hook. He's going to back up. That is a blink on the ADC, and it does give them advantage for the Raptor.
Yeah, Fangtooth coming up right this second. And yeah, they kill BeastSolis there. Really important, obviously, to keep this Crunch down. But on the other side of the map, they force the blink. The other team forces the blink out of the Sparrow and gets the tier 1, and now potentially getting the Fangtooth. What I would think is smart to just focus this Crunch just happened at the wrong time, in my opinion. They give up so much pressure on the side of the map that's about to be really, really important.
Rampage diving in, going to land the rock. He's going to miss. His team is protecting, is stopping him from being able to get into the pit. The low tier Viper now going in with a shield slam, gets the ultimate off as Gideon with a black hole above his head. He's very, very low. He's going to go down. North now in trouble. He tries to blink out and just manages to not. He does not get away. He gets hit at the last possible second mid blink. He's going to go down as well. Now it's Bellica who's in trouble as the entire team minus the Grux is barreling down the mid lane, looking to get the advantage. The score was 6-0 not even a few minutes ago, and now it's 7-8 in favor of the team that didn't have a single kill just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, the damage that comes out of this composition for Toasty is definitely appearing to be a lot higher. The CC is something to be scared of on the other side, but the damage is really, really impactful. And these walls from Toasty are keeping people in place and keeping them inside of Crozen's black holes.
Yeah, and once you're able to kind of secure and peel and section them off, like teams like that, they're very strong when you get them to work. And I still really much like, I very much like the team that Solis has drafted. However, the disengage and just the pure damage that Gideon and Sparrow are able to output, and then you still have Rampage and Grux, who are frontliners, but they do damage. That rounded team comp is able to just survive the CC because there's no damage to follow up on it. If Twin Blast and Bellic aren't there, you're just hoping for Crunch to be able to get in there, and he can't.
The other thing is Bellic is very much single target damage. She has, yes, she can hit multiple people with her stun. Yes, she could potentially hit multiple people with her Void Bomb. But realistically, she's not doing that. She's focusing on one person with both those abilities. And obviously, the ultimate focuses entirely on one person. She's very much single target focused. So this AoE CC that's coming out of their composition with this Steel, with this Richter ultimate that could potentially come out, it's not being able to be followed up on as precisely or as efficiently as, say, a Sparrow ultimate on the other side following up on a big AoE CC.
No, I agree with that completely. If North had the Sparrow on his team, it would be almost a different story. But Twin Blast just tends to be more favored, and is more well-rounded and able to kind of play from behind a little bit better. He's a little more independent. But, you know, it is Sparrow's the ultimate late game carry in Predecessor. We are looking at possibly yet another engage. Once again, the teams are starting to really ramp up their aggression to see what they can play, as Toasty's team is flexing and they are pushing and they're starting to limit test where they're allowed to be on the map. And they're looking for that late mini prime just before it respawns. Viper and them are in place. They're seeing if they can get anything, but they're going to choose not to engage.
Look who they gave it to.
They gave it to the Sparrow. Let's go.
I like that call. I think they just want to be fighting around Pyrex. He's a lot of their damage. They have enough CC to like counter the initiations that are coming out of the BeastSolis' team. And now with Sparrow being able to push with her minions, being able to deal a little bit more damage, it's going to be really impactful for this upcoming just few minutes.
Yeah.
Though keep in mind, they don't have Fang 1. So that duration of this mini prime is definitely shortened, and they won't be able to keep it for the next Fang Tooth.
I think what they need to do, because sticking mini prime on your ADC is very high risk, but it's also potentially high reward, and especially a champion like Sparrow. So if they're able to just force a fight favorably in the jungle or in the lane, and they're able to get Sparrow to just get the ultimate off and do a buttload of damage, then that's what's going to matter. However, it's Rampage now looking for a pick alongside Toasty, but they are going to get counter engaged. The hook goes out. It's going to miss Tony. Toasty as low tier Viper goes in. Pyrex not with the team just yet, as Toasty's just trying to run away. That is the fight right there. If Pyrex were able to go in on that one, that would be the game changer. However, Sparrow's getting engaged on, having to burn the clans and jump away. He's going to pick up Spotted Lost in the process, but he's going to go down to the Steel, who pops the Razorback to secure the kill. Skype Hamster going to follow up as well. So the fight is now 3-1 in favor of Toasty's team. Bad Yoshi now in trouble as Grux lands the pull onto Bellica. Double pains her away. North, the last surviving member of BeastSolis' team, as Crozen's going to teleport forward, misses the rock. Skype Hamster with next to no HP. North trying to live as long as possible, but it's going to be the big rock from the sky dropping down his head and squishing North like a bug.
BeastSolis really tried to dive onto that Sparrow, blinks past the Rampage, goes and just double dashes the Sparrow, knocks her up, but it was the peel that comes out of Decker, the character that I said hard counters Crunch, that keeps the Sparrow alive for enough time that then the Cage and the Gideon ult combine again, and so much damage is able to be dished out by the team of Toasty, and BeastSolis shreds like paper.
And we are looking at Toasty's team picking up their very first Fang Tooth. Spotted trying to get a hook in there to see if he can get that 8% health damage onto the objective. He runs forward. It's not going to be enough. Low tier Viper now dashing in. They're not too sure how they want to engage. It's a bit sloppy, and it's going to be a Viper trying to live for the well, just trying to get out as fast as he can, letting Spotted die to the Sparrow. A weird engage. I think there was definitely a miscommunication as they weren't too sure what to do. BeastSolis' team now on the back foot from such a strong start.
I think there's been a couple issues that have been coming out, and one of them is that this Steel just keeps dashing in at these kind of inopportune moments.
Another
now,
pick.
now opening up the Orb Prime to be swung into the favor of Toasty's team. And remember, they just got that first Fang Tooth, so this is the full duration Orb Prime.
And that is just like, out of all the people to get the second pick and create a power play on, it's the jungler standing beside Orb Prime. They already knew the objective they wanted to do. Right now, when that happens, like, oh, okay, well, that's a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer before. Now it's really a no. Now it's a brain-dead decision.
Yeah. They're having a lot of trouble once it got to this team fighting stage. I like this composition. I like the damage that's coming. The CC that's coming out of BeastSolis' team. But as we're starting to notice, the damage just isn't following up. And low tier Viper has been in these kind of inopportune positions
over and over again. And he's going down.
That's the power of this Decker. So much peel potential. And that's what we said. Toasty is going to make any ADC look good. And he is definitely making last Pyrex, the controller god, look fantastic.
Pyrex on the sticks. He's actually a Sparrow one trick too. So that is the double, double down.
How can anyone be a Sparrow one trick?
I just brain tamp.
Have you seen
masochism? Like,
have you seen Stranger's Sparrow support that's been running rampant?
I had to carry. I'm not throwing shade. I had to carry Stranger's Sparrow support a couple weeks back.
When he started, he sent a message. He was like 4-0 on the Sparrow support. It's a good pick. And
yeah, I was part of that 4-0. Okay, I contributed.
I don't know. The stats speak for themselves. Sparrow is a fantastic duo laner in either role.
All right, we are seeing an engage as Toasty's team does have Orb Prime. They are pushing down. They're looking for an inhib. They're playing this very smartly with Grux in the side lane. He's had a rough game so far. Spot lost, now using the Rift to go forward and get the defensive play on. North managing to pick up the Sparrow. It's going to be Gideon with a black hole up in the air as he gets hooked out of the sky. And that's following up with North getting a double kill. They're now running on the Rampage. Is that the triple kill on the ADC? I believe so. North coming in now. He might be able to get the Quadra. That is a Quadra. I am 90% sure that's a Quadra kill for North there.
It is. It definitely is. And that's what they need to be doing every single time. They get the pick early on last Pyrex and then quickly follow it up. The Gideon goes in for a black hole, does a bunch of damage. They were all at a sliver of HP, but Spotted Lost able to cancel it out because his hook comes back right in the nick of time. And the moment that those two are dead, there's no more damage on the side of Toasty. There's just none. And now they're able to be run down one by one by one. This Twin Blast, who once again, very single target, he's able to choose, okay, I'm killing him. Okay, now I'm killing him. Okay, now I'm killing him. Okay, now I'm killing him.
And one of the amazing things about that too is that fourth kill was left for Twin Blast to pick up. They set it up. Yeah, they set it up. North's like, don't worry, I'll be there in 2 seconds. He seems far, but I'm on the way, and he managed to secure that kill. They are getting it together. So now, even though we did see Beast team kind of swing the game away from them, it's now Toasty's team swinging the game, like just losing the advantage they had, and they had a very big one. If North isn't able to take advantage of that Quadra kill here, I don't know what else could happen. Like, this is putting them back in the driver's seat.
The thing is, they need to pray that, or not just pray, they need to perform the same way they did last time. They need to have these priority picks onto last Pyrex and then swiftly follow that up with a pick onto Crozen. Those are their priority targets. But they also need to hope that Toasty isn't able to peel, because that's exactly what happened in the last fight. I think they got a lucky engagement there, personally. I think they are not going to be granted that opportunity, and now it's on them to play a bit more defensively again and try and counter initiate, because every time they've been initiating, it's been troublesome.
It's been interesting. The Raptor coming up right now. This is the very first primal Raptor of the game, and it's the one that BeastSolis' team wants to secure. The engage coming through right now. Decker Cage does come out, and it's going to be Rampage in a little bit of trouble as the Decker stun does go through, not landing on anyone. There's a big hook for Spotted Lost, landing on the Grux, who's getting knocked up in the sky. Low tier Viper popping the Razorback to do whatever he can to provide a bit of peel for the enemy team and preventing them from getting forward. However, they do manage to get away. Grux does live, burning his blink. That is all that matters, though, because this is the Fangtooth. They are looking for the re-engage. Primal Fangtooth does a very, very good job of burning down the enemy team. So there is still hope for Toasty and the rest of his team. North in a bit of a weird position as he gets engaged on Spot Lost and Bad Yoshi trying to help. Big black hole coming from Gideon, landing 3 into the hole, and he's going to hit and kill the Bellica. Low tier Viper now in a bit of trouble, and now BeastSolis, the last surviving member of his own team, he doesn't even manage to pick up the Grux, who has less than 100 health. Just the 10 HP pixel health tick, and that's all that matters. That is a full ace and a primal Fangtooth for Toasty and the rest of his team.
Very soon a prime as well. I just want to point out, Spotted Lost, so unfortunate what happened there. When Gideon uses his black hole, he has like a slightly stronger pull right away. And Spotted Lost, he goes to cancel the ultimate, but he gets pulled slightly too far, and he misses by a hair on this Gideon. Therefore, letting Gideon just get a free, full channeled ultimate, because obviously Spotted Lost is the only hope for his team to cancel that.
And we were just talking about, I literally said it 2 seconds ago, if North isn't able to use this quadra kill, I don't know what can happen. And apparently I had to be careful what I say, because that was a monkey's paw conversation right there. It's going to be the prime on the primal Fangtooth.
Crozen and Toasty are making me eat my words. I said I don't want to see a Gideon, but Crozen and Toasty have been making it work, and they've been making it work spectacularly. Crozen has been having perfect ultimates in nearly every fight, save for that one that they lost at the inhib.
And this might be the actual end of the game, as there's a primal Fangtooth and an Orb Prime running down the lane. Gideon doing a great job of creating that portal to get them into the map that much quicker. Skype Hamster just beating Bellica on the top of the head, knocking her out of the fight, creating yet an even bigger power play for Team Toasty.
If I'm BeastSolis, I'm starting to be a little bit scared. I mean, I was scared 20 minutes ago, but now I'm maybe not 20.
15, 20 minutes
10,
ago.
20, I was actually still super confident. That was like 8 minutes in. Okay, 15, 10, I was starting to get scared. Now I am terrified. The enemy team is double buffed up. Low tier Viper is going to try and get a huge ultimate, but in the cage, he just gets dealt so much damage.
I mean, there's been so much action in this game. We've barely been able to do things like talk about the builds and what people are building. It's just constant fighting. North now bringing out the ventilate to try and peel away, push away the enemy team from his tower as they continue to barrel down every single lane in the 1-3-1 formation. Classic full lane push. Are they going to be able to pull something? The second that inhib goes down, inhib goes down, I think the rest of the game goes with it. Like,
yeah, the game is pretty much on a knife's edge. Spotted Lost.
There it is, going in. Getting the Riftwalker, but no one's going to follow up. He gets disengaged real quickly. Toasty with the peel, and he's going to go down. This is now the worst case scenario. BeastSolis trying to do what he can to clear out the orb-primed minion wave. They are rotating correctly. They're doing a very good job of clearing these waves as much as possible, but now without the Richter to stop it, there's the first inhib to go down. There's the second one from the Rampage happening as well, and all they need to do is rotate into Grux's lane to get the third one and finish the game off, and I think that's what we're seeing here. This is just one nail in a coffin after another.
Yeah, Spotted was the key player in the previous inhib defense. The moment he was down, they knew that that was free.
Yeah, and it's just like, what are you going to do at this point? And there it is. Spotted now reviving himself. He's going for the Sparrow, who lives with less than 10 HP. Oh my God. And he managed to pick up the kill on Spotted Lost once again. It is now 3-0 in favor of Toasty's team. Is just walking in. North gets hit by the rock, and it's going to be Toasty landing the stun on Viper, who goes down to Gideon's rock.
And that is the end of the game. We called it in one. We were wrong. It went the other. Team Toasty picking up the first match of this set.